Hey love doves, it's your girl TyAonna, aka Fat Gal, and I'm coming at you again with another webisode. Today I'm going to talk with you all about Basketball Wives, the season 2 reunion, and I'm actually going to do 2 separate shows because it's going to get kind of long. This first show is going to be about part 1 of the reunion. I know that aired on Sunday night, and then the other part aired last night. So I'll go ahead and talk about that. I do have notes. I think that's how I'm going to start doing these webisodes with the reviews for shows. So please don't think that I'm ignoring you all or being rude. I'm just looking down at my notes. So anyways, let's get going. They started with Tammy and Ev. I still agree that Ev should have told Tammy up front whether, you know, it was hard on her or not, or whether it was a hard decision or not. And I think that Tammy still is on that point. Like, you should have told me up front. And Ev's just kind of like, okay, whatever. But, you know, it is what it is. And, you know, they feel how they feel about each other. They displayed that. Then Tammy dropped a little bomb about how, I guess I didn't have to tell you that I slept with Chad then. And, you know, everybody's like, oh, like, wow, you know, hook, line, and sinker is, you know, Royce did the little thing. And, you know, in Twitter world, on Facebook, people are kind of questioning as to whether or not that was truth or not. Personally, I don't think Tammy is Ocho's type. That's just me. Just seeing, you know, watching his show, The Ultimate Catch, when he had that, and then looking at Ev. But, you know, you never know with, as Jen calls them, athletes. So, you know, but do I feel like it was true? No. But it really was a very nice chin check. I will give Tammy that. Moving on to Shani. Shani did state that she's writing a book, and she was quick to go, no, but it's not a tell-all. And John quickly chin checked her, and I wrote it down because I wanted to make sure I got the quote right. He said, she said, no, it's not a tell-all. That's, you know, she's not that kind of person. And he said, no, you just make a show and put women on it who do tell it all. And I was like, oh, but at the end of the day, it's the truth. And she said, only if they want to. And I think a lot of times they're kind of provoked to, you know, give it all away. So maybe that was the case. But I thought it was funny when John said that. Moving on to, before I move on, I will just say I still think that Shani deserves like her own Shani O'Neal day for dropping 5 Shaq babies, because I mean, Shaq is a, like, if you look at her, it's like literally like a grocery store being next to the Empire State Building. That's what it looks like, them together. And for you to just drop 5 of his kids, I mean, hats off to her, because that, I'm sure, was a feat in itself. And then she, you know, parents them all. So, shouts out to Shani O'Neal, because I don't know if I would be hyped with, you know, dropping 5 Shaq babies for the money or not, but that's just me. Moving on to Dwayne and Royce. They're not together anymore, and I really thought that would work out, and I thought they looked good together, but I do commend her for saying she had nothing bad to say about him. It just didn't work out. You know, we're people, we've been in relationships, and sometimes it's just not right, and you need to separate and, you know, go your own way, do your own thing. So too bad for that. As far as Jen and Tammy and the whole food stamp thing, I think that Royce was really on a good point before Jen cut her off in saying that I don't think that it was about you saying that Tammy was on food stamps. It was about you calling her ghetto and associating food stamps with being ghetto, and that's where the problem came in. But of course, you know, Jen got all up in Royce's butt and, you know, didn't let her finish that statement. But that's where she was going with that, and I agree 100%. They hashed it out, you know, they declared the truth, so, you know, that's all done. But still, I really do feel like that was the ultimate problem between the two of them, and that just got overshadowed by Jen, you know, once again digging in Royce's butt, but, you know, whatever. And then moving on to Eric and the Jen situation, is it just me, or was like Eric really reaching for nice things to say? If you watch that part, it seems like, because they cut and paste, so you just saw like piece here, piece there, piece here, and they put it all together. It kind of seems like somebody was like behind the camera like, hey Eric, can you say something nice? okay, you got something else nice that you could say? Can you wish her well or something? Like, it seemed like he was really reaching for nice things to say. But, you know, it's a sad situation, but the same thing with Royce and Dwayne. You got to know when to hold them and know when to fold them. And, you know, the sad part about it is that at another point he was trying to make it right, but he had really dug himself too deep, and by the time she, you know, got over it, he came back a little bit too late and tried to make it right. And it's the classic case of, you know, love and relationships and how they pan out. So, you know, maybe one day they can work it out, but for right now he claims they won't be friends, and it is what it is. Moving on to Chad Ochocinco and Ev. As far as Ochocinco, like I mentioned earlier, he did have his show, The Ultimate Catch, and I did watch it. I liked the girl that he ended up with. I thought that she would be his pick from the very beginning, and she was. But, you know, everybody knows that was for television, and so I agree with Jennifer how she has her apprehensions for her best friend about her dating another athlete. With an F, okay, and sorry. Like I said, I can agree with her on that. You know, he changed his name. Some people felt like that was for media attention, and so for him to date someone like Ev, yes, she's pretty, but, you know, she has her own, you know, thing going on right now too, so we'll see how that pans out. But just another thing that everyone was talking about out in Twitter world and Facebook, about how Ev just looked different. I really do think it was because she had her hair pulled back, and I can't remember a time seeing her that way. Most of the time she has some kind of swoop, something's in her face, and I really think it's because she has a big forehead, and I have a big head, so, you know, I can't talk about nobody. But I really think we just never have been afforded the opportunity to see her forehead. So for all the people who made complaints about her looking different, I will say it's probably that, or if she really is in a relationship with Chad, I'm sure that, you know, he has her on some type of workout regimen because he's a football player and he wants her to stay fit and trim like how he likes her. So that may be a case of it too, that maybe, you know, she's just dropped a little bit of weight and it's showing more so in her face. So I will say that. But with Royce, I agree. I really don't believe Chad and Ev are, you know, I don't think they're at a point where they can officially call themselves engaged. I think that was for show. But, you know, it does seem staged. There are pictures everywhere, and when you see the pictures, it just seems like somebody was called to come and take some pictures of them together. So I do agree, but as much as I will say I have my mixed feelings about Ev because I don't like her personality, I will say I love her looks. She's ugly on the inside, but she's a beautiful person as far as on the outside. Very pleasing on the eye, I would agree, from the male point of view, and I see that's why Chad fell for her. But he is a very handsome man, very chocolate. I love a chocolate man. And, you know, I do feel like they look good together. As much as I don't like her, they do look nice together. And, you know, maybe it was a little too soon for Ev to make that statement. But I think they would have pretty babies together if you want to go there. So, that's just my feel on that. But I will say, if Ev does marry him, that would then make her a football wife and not a basketball wife. So, would there be a football wives Cincy edition? I don't know. Just something that I'm throwing out there into the universe, and we'll see where that goes, if that really is a real relationship and that really does materialize into a real marriage. We'll see. As far as right now, I'm going to wrap up, but I will say that in part 2, especially of the reunion and of my webisode, we'll be talking about Susie and Gloria. I'm going to try and incorporate some actual clips. I didn't have any for this show, but I think I'm going to try and get some clips in there as well. And then John gave information about a season 3 coming up this summer, so I'm excited about that. Yay, yay, yay. And as far as this webisode, please subscribe, please leave your comments, let me know, you know, what's your overall feel about the wives, or, you know, the basketball baby mamas and sideline chicks, as I like to refer to them. But just leave your comments, subscribe, and remember, you can follow me on Twitter. You can also DM me there. You can send emails with show requests or song requests to TyAonna, TyAonna @gmail.com, and I will see you all next time. I'm going to say goodbye, but remember, keep it real, keep it sassy, and most of all, make sure you stay happy. Bye, love doves.